Our goal this season was to explore the route sailed by the Vikings. Early in our journey from North America to Europe, we found plans at a full halt with work that ended up being much more extensive and lengthier than planned. And if you know boats, then it's not a huge surprise, but for us, we've got time on our mind. The sailing season's short up there. We discovered that we were in need of a new prop shaft and cutlass bearing, and by a stroke of luck, or the unmatched kindness of the Newfie people, we were given one we could repurpose, and it was just a matter of getting it machined and then waiting for a new cutlass bearing to come in. With the calendar pages flipping one after another, you'd think that when our parts came in, we'd work smarter, not harder. But our eagerness to splash got the best of us. Suffice it to say, this episode is not a how-to, but more of a look what we did, and spoiler alert, how we resolved it to get ourselves back on the move again. If you're a familiar face here, welcome back. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. The landscape is epic. The wildlife is incredible.
Since we're waiting for the cutlass bearing and all that stuff to come in, Steve went and got us a nice new piece of teak. Thanks, Steve. And we're going to replace our instrument panel, so it's going to look a lot nicer in that cockpit. I've already got the shape, just got a hole saw these guys so the instrument panels can go in there, and then I'm going to Total Boat Danish teak sealer on it, and then I'll match the cockpit, and I think it's going to look sweet.
Came out looking really good. Brings the whole cockpit together here now because we've got the teak under the Dodger, the companionway doors. Yeah, it's looking put together.
We're set. They hooked us up.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Nice.
Now I just gotta wait for the cutlass bearing.
Oh, you got that one?
Flash forward 4 days, and now we have a new cutlass bearing. And this one's pretty neat. We found it online. We had it shipped over from the States because we couldn't find one that we needed here anywhere locally. The one we needed would have been a non-metallic one because we have an aluminum boat, so we didn't want to have two dissimilar metals underwater, which would just cause like heavy corrosion. So this is made out of a polymer, like it's plastic.
Yeah, it's like a full hard plastic cutlass bearing.
Yeah, and they had it made to order with our sizing, so that was perfect.
That's actually why we went with it, because we have a very specific sizing. Closest we could find was like a 2-inch exterior, but we're actually like 1.93, which is like 49 mils. So this company was gonna shave it down for us, and they do it really quickly. So we went with them.
The one that we found on the boat, and I think most of them, like the most common cutlass bearings, are made out of a naval brass on the exterior with like a rubber millwright inner. And sometimes the rubber inners are known to go.
They break down over time, but usually they make it with like a naval brass exterior. So if there's any expansion or contraction in the metals, it's gonna warp the rubber inside. We can only get one that's fiberglass exterior and rubber inside. So whatever expansion and contraction is in the shaft housing, it's gonna, expand and contract.
That's what our old one was. It was made out of fiberglass, but that's not something that we could find here to even get another one of.
No.
I guess. So yeah, we found this one.
And like the closest we could find, it was like $100, and then we would have had to pay someone X amount of money to lay that down, and then this was like $150, and they already had it laid down.
Not bad overall for getting it in 4 days, and then hopefully back on in
Tomorrow.
Hopefully,
knock on wood.
And then splashing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Progress. Oh, did you actually just go knock on some wood? The piece of wood that's underneath the stand there. Superstitious.
They put this on all the sport wakeboard boats and a lot of high-speed boats because there's less friction because it's a hard plastic. And they say it's quieter and you can run these dry without ruining them like you would rubber. So anyways, we thought it was really interesting, so we're going to give it a go.
Yeah.
But hopefully I can just press it in. Oh. You also can put these in the freezer for like 2 hours and they shrink a smidge, and then you just instantly have to throw it in, then it expands. But I don't have 2 hours in the freezer right now. Oh my God.
Or you're saying...
Maybe I should have, because it's...
Well, or you're... Oh, yeah. Well, you're saying that if it was too small, then you would epoxy it or something, right?
Yeah, like... Because it was actually like 49.2 2 mils, so I thought maybe if it was smidge smaller, I just put a layer of glue or epoxy in there and then let it set and go from there. But we got 2 set screws as well.
But the alternative was if it was too big, then we could freeze it to make it smaller.
Yeah, which it seems like it's a perfect fit. So I'm either gonna try to hammer it in, which they recommend not to. It should just press in, but I'm eager, so yeah. I think freezing it would be perfect. But it says you have to take it out of the freezer and put it in within seconds. The freezer's like 30 seconds over there.
Well, you just have to pick a cooler day then. It's cooling down right now. It was really, really hot the other day. You just have to sprint.
I probably can get it. I'll go to love tap, and if it starts to go in.
Okay, against recommendations, Trax is love tapping. But you're easing it in. Like, that's a small
If
hammer.
I was hammering any harder than that,
yeah,
I would put it in the freezer, but that's super light.
We don't want to go paying double and waiting double, do we, for another one? Your face is funny. Are you sure?
No, like
You're not. You're like
if I
it's
was
centered.
Given the beans on it, I just leave it like that.
As long as it's going evenly in, right?
I'm just worried that I couldn't clean this far up the tube, and then I'm going to be really in trouble. But you just don't want to mash this up. Yeah, that's not coming out again. So
Patience is a virtue. It is no longer tapping in gently with the little hammer that we've got. So somebody should have put it in the freezer like Stephanie was
probably would have
saying.
slid right in with a freezer.
Yeah, that's what they say for a reason.
That all in the pillar. So as long as that's staying square, it's good. Which it is. But I am breaking the wood now.
Wasn't just a little love tap.
That's like just light cedar.
Someone just wants to rush, rush, rush.
Someone wants to get back in the water.
Yeah, but I said put it in the freezer.
No, I don't.
No, it's not moving. You can see it on the letters on the side. It didn't go past the G.
So how hard is it to get out?
Impossible.
Oh, it ain't coming out. It would not come out unless I wrecked it. It'll go in. Alright, still looking nice and smooth.
It is ice.
Well, you know when you
Keep it
start
that way.
mashing that in, then you're like, okay.
Dry ice right now.
Yeah, and just put it inside and covered it, it would.
You could slide. You could fill that full of dry ice, and then just duct tape that and just leave it for a short while, and then don't take the duct tape off and hit on it.
Yeah.
We should have put it in the freezer.
Here.
All right, so what we did was actually cool it down with the hose, and we made some progress. Oh, did we get lucky, sir?
The hose helped huge because the water's like a little chillier. So it definitely like without the hose it was like dead stopped. Put
Yeah.
the hose in there, give it a couple minutes, and then it just like would go pop, pop, pop.
But we can tell it's very good quality material
Yeah.
because you did not mash that at all.
Oh, no.
like,
It's perfectly machined still.
and you didn't even have a really heavy hammer.
The key is if you're doing it, a hard wood, and you hit as even as you can. Like you can't hit sideways. You have to hit dead even, like a punch.
Or just put it in the freezer.
Yeah, but it said put it within seconds. If we didn't get it in here within seconds, like it might have just been pounding it anyways. Who knows?
You gotta run real fast.
Who knows? But now I can at least try to put the shaft in now. But I'm gonna drill 2 little dimples for the set screws to sit.
I don't think it's going anywhere, but the
Ain't
screws are just gonna be that extra peace of mind.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah.
You're saying that some people actually leave it out, right? They leave it out a little bit.
Yeah, some
that they
guys
can
leave
remove
out
it.
So they have something to grab onto to yank it out again. But
Ours wouldn't come out anyway that way. But that would have been our worst case. Like if we couldn't get it all the way in, we would have considered leaving it out just a little bit.
we would have had an inch here. So as long as it was less than an inch, it wouldn't have affected
Yeah.
anything.
It would have been better than to keep tapping and then mangle this
Yeah.
up.
If I was starting to really damage it.
Yeah.
Like, do I go flush or do I just leave it?
No, it's good. Figured that while the boat is hauled out, and use some of the leftover Total Boat Illuma paint that we have to do some spot touch-ups. The paint's held up pretty good. Like, we're really impressed considering it's copper-free because of the aluminum boat. Total Boat's Illuma paint. It's held up good. We applied this 8 months ago. The only spots I'm touching up really are the parts that the straps from the travel lift wore.
Now it's time to reinstall the prop shaft, which I'm gonna have to lift the engine up and out of the way again.
Big moment shaft is going in. Bam! Tested the fitment of the shaft going through the Cutlass last night before installing it. Woke up this morning, and then when trying to put the shaft in the Cutlass again, it wouldn't go in. So it's as if it shrunk overnight, or we have no idea. Maybe it was deformed a little bit from the love taps. Not really sure. So Travis has spent the last hour filing away at the inside.
That'll get you there. Slowly but surely.
Filed about a mil, maybe, if a mil.
Yeah, it was only tight at the very inner sides. Goes in now. My initial thought was, because we got the bearing in like this far, no problem at all. And then I was giving it a little bit of love taps. And I was like, okay, like just very gently, and it was going in. And then it just stopped. And the whole wall, inside wall, was very clean, so I knew it wasn't anything inside there. So then I couldn't get it back out. So then we had to, you know, give it a bit more finesse to get her in, but didn't damage the outside. What I think maybe was the problem was because they welded the top piece of metal here to the pipe, maybe it deformed the pipe right here because there was a lot of heat.
And maybe that's why
the other one was probably
so worn.
Yeah, because it was actually worn right in this area on the old Cutlass bearing. It was worn in the back where it was tight, so maybe it was a problem from the beginning. If you were to put this in with the Millwright, the other style material, when you put it in, you wouldn't be able to do much because it's rubber. Even if you wanted to sand it away, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
So hopefully now that I got it nice and smooth, and then I'm going through to keep it as flat as I can too, so I'm not trying to get any imperfections.
It won't happen again.
Shouldn't have again.
Exciting. We are getting prepped to be put back in the water. Of course, it has to be blowing. It's very windy today, but we had to wait until high tide to be launched because the ramp is a little bit shallow. No matter how many times we've hauled out in the past year, I still get butterflies. It's still so nerve-wracking every single time. Every single time.
Oh, every time. It's just unnatural.
We're back in the water.
are heading out of Conception Bay south right now, starting to make our way north up the coast. There is so much whale action this morning. This is awesome. Literally, as soon as we pulled out of the channel of the marina, we saw whales, and there's a lot of tail action today, which is so special because we have yet to see a tail until today. So, yeah. How awesome.
Yeah, that was so cool. They were breaching.
They're still going.
Yeah, we missed a couple of them. Actually, like fully jumped out of the water. That's actually when we noticed them. It was like a massive splash, but they were pretty far at that point.
We had such an amazing time in Conception Bay South. Despite being on the hard and having, you know, to get boat work done, we met the most amazing, friendliest, hospitable people ever. Like, it just really made the time incredible. I don't think we met a single person that was like not friendly. Everyone was above and beyond welcoming, and it made us feel like we were at home, especially after being there for a couple of weeks. It was really great.
Yeah, I'd say like within the 2 weeks we were there. Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were there for 2 weeks.
almost.
I felt like I knew everybody in the marina.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's just very friendly, wants to chat, love it. It's amazing. Miss everybody there. But on to the next. The adventure awaits.
Who knows, maybe we'll be back there one day.
Yeah, I think we will.
We loved it so much.
Yeah.
Brothers that own the dock there that we were staying at have a fishery, and last night before we left they offered us a box of crab, like a very huge box of snow crab, and I was like, oh man, our freezers are full from all the cod and the provisioning, but I would love me some crab. I have not had snow crab in a really, really long time, and in my mind I'm playing Tetris, like how can I rejig everything in the fridge and the freezer to make it work. But check this out. There is 10 pounds of wild-caught Canadian snow crab in there, fully cooked. So yeah, Travis grabbed the box before we left. We figured we could thaw it throughout the course of the day while we're sailing, and then I could chip away at the meat, put them into baggies so it doesn't take up so much space, or even just munch on it as we're sailing today. So yeah. Can't thank everybody there at the dock enough for hosting us. It was amazing.
Sailbag's all patched up. Looks okay. Definitely noticeable, but best we can do for now. Reinforced the other side as well, just in case. I've seen a bit of chafing right here. So. Yeah, hopefully she holds. I should have a batten through the whole thing, just to really support each piece instead of it just being held up on a single spot. It'll be like fully supported, but I think I might have to redesign this bag at some point, which I'm not looking forward to, but when the day comes. Yahoo! We got some wind. I was a little worried there. Starting to think about altering my plans, but we got wind. We're kind of far enough out of the bay where it's a cleaner wind, I guess. So we're now wing on wing, moving at close to 6 knots, 5/8, 6 knots. Someone's trying to tie a knot with a cherry stem. Get it?
Not that.
Passing time. Now we're heading into it, but we're doing like... but we're against against the current here, so.
Our depths are going all over the place from 35 feet to 90 feet as we approach.
It's 156 foot there, goes right to 8 feet there, like within a few hundred feet.
And we're just rounding the top, we're approaching.
Right on the top to Buena Vista.
There are tons of birds, and there are whales in the distance that we saw. Lots of like spout mist.
Yeah, lots of activity in the water.
Look at them all.
It's crazy,
It's been like a nature, like a wildlife show here. So much wildlife. It's been such a different experience sailing these waters.
If we only stuck to North America, I would always come up to Newfoundland. You know what I mean? To beat the seasons, like I would come up to Newfoundland and then go back to the Caribbean if we only stuck to this side of the world. 100% I'd shoot up here right away. It's unreal. I want to get a whale breaching, like fully jumping out of water with that backdrop over there and a bit of sun. Oh.
Oh, right there! Yeah. Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh!
This landscape is epic.
Yeah, this landscape is epic. The wildlife is incredible. I think we've seen more whales than we have dolphins in the past year, and we were in the Caribbean.
We're ecstatic to be on the move again and climbing our way north. If you've made it this far, we hope you'll hit subscribe and leave us a friendly comment. It would mean a lot to us, and support like that encourages us to continue filming and sharing our adventures. Our next stop is one surely not to be missed, especially in these neck of the woods. It's our last stop in Canada, so we had to make it a good one.